Hello everyone. This video will be a presentation of the course outline for Social Work 206. As I mentioned earlier, this is the second part of the syllabi. So I'm going to cover what's in the syllabi under the course schedule. So you can see that this course starts on basically the 13th of this month, and so I'm doing a series by units. So when you look at unit one, it's going to cover a period as you can see in the course schedule. Within unit one, you see you have an introductory and the discussion board and the first discussion board question. What's important to remember that all discussions are your initial post should be done on Thursday no later than 11:59, and you need to respond to two of your peers no later than Sunday at 11:59. If you wait to do all three the same time, I'm okay with that. Just be mindful that the quality of your posting might not be as great because you're trying to do that at the last moment. So what I recommend you do is you do your initial post on Thursday, no later than 11:59, and then you respond to two of your peers by Sunday at 11:59. So as you can see, I also have a review of the library resource that's going to be available to you on the Getting Started page when we look at Blackboard. Also, you have to read and discuss chapter 1, perspective on sexuality. Also, you need to do chapter 2, look at research method. For some of you, research might not be as exciting, and for others, it may. So just know that you have to read chapters 1 and chapter 2 within this first week. So it starts on Monday, and your course will end, well, unit 1 will end no later than Sunday at 11:59. Also, in Unit 1, you have to complete a course syllabus on the Getting Started page, which is due no later than Sunday at 11:59. Just be mindful that this is saying that you actually read the syllabus, you know what's in the syllabus, and you have an understanding of what your requirements are. So just be mindful of that. So all of that needs to be done in Unit 1. Okay, you see Unit 2 has a date and period also that's going to be covered, and it'll pick up from Unit 1. So there you have to read chapters 3 and 4 and 5 to have an understanding of what is expected of you. In addition to that, you have a quiz on chapters 1 through 5. So you would have already read chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then there's a quiz for you to take. And I'll talk a little bit more about the quiz that's going to help you with the midterm for this particular chapters. So just know that the quiz for chapters 1 through 5 is going to help you with your midterm exam. So it's important that you do that and have an understanding of the questions within that. I usually tell students, go ahead and print the quiz out because there may be some things that you got wrong, some things that you may need to go back and look at again. Again, I provide you with 3 opportunities to take this quiz, and it's going to start from the starting of your course up until the day before you're scheduled to take the midterm. You will no longer have access to these quizzes for the midterm after your period for the midterm have started. Also be mindful that your quizzes is not included in your course final grades. So you're not going to be graded for your quizzes. This is just to prepare you to take the midterm and the final. The midterm and final will be counted as credit for your course grades. The quizzes will not. I repeat, the quizzes you take will not be counted for your course grades. This is just to give you an understanding of the questions that's going to be on your midterm exam, which you will receive credit for. So you will not receive any credit for any of the quizzes. I'm providing you with 3 opportunities to take the quiz, and you have a period from the start of this course up until the day before the midterm is due. And I'll talk about that a little later on when we get into Blackboard, where you can see the quizzes and have an understanding. Okay, you also have a discussion board post. That's going to be initial post that's required of you on Thursday, and respond to 2 learners no later than Sunday. You also see that you have to provide a topic for your research paper in writing. In other words, you're going to tell me that, okay, I'm going to write on same-sex marriage. Here are some articles, journals that I'm going to be looking at to help me with that. Or you can do an outline format, which your title of your course is going to be same-sex marriage, and you may have an article that discusses same-sex marriage. You may have another article that talks about the law for same-sex marriage. Those are going to be researches that you're going to use to actually do your paper. So just be mindful. So you have to read chapters 3, 4, and 5 in Unit 2. You have to take the quiz for chapters 1 through 5. You also have to provide me with a written topic for your paper, which is going to be in Unit 2. And then you have your discussion board posting. Okay, let's take a look at Unit 3. You can see the dates to the side where Unit 3 starts. So basically, you're going to read chapters 6, 7, and 8. Here again, you have a quiz for 6, 7, and 8. So your midterm exam is going to cover chapter 1 through chapter 8. So that you're going to have completed by Unit 3. Again, your quizzes are only going to be available from the start of this course up until the day before your midterm. So in other words, you will no longer have access if you have utilized your 3 opportunity with the quiz, or if you have waited until the day before the midterm is scheduled to open up for you to take. So you will no longer have access for that. I cannot leave the quizzes open while you're taking a midterm. Again, I recommend that you post your quizzes, print out your quizzes, so that way you'll have a copy of it so you can know whether you had the correct answer or not. Your quizzes will not be counted for credit towards this course. Only your midterm and final exam. Okay, as we look at Unit 4, you can see when your midterm starts. Okay, so you know your quizzes will end the day before your midterm start. So just be mindful of that. So in other words, Chapter 9 is also a part of the quiz. So your quiz is going to cover chapters 1 through chapter 9. That's going to be all the questions that's going to be coming from your quizzes. Now, you won't have all of those questions from those chapters in your midterm exam, but you may have a few. It's important that you complete the midterm exam so that it can prepare you, complete the quizzes so that it can prepare you for your midterm exam. So in Unit 4, you can see the chapters that your midterm exam is going to cover and when your midterm exam is going to open up to you. And so you have up until those dates. After that date, you will no longer have access for your midterm exam. I recommend the students, when your exam open up, that you take it as soon as possible. If you wait till the last day, sometime Blackboard goes down. Sometime you have problems with your internet system that would prevent you from actually completing your midterm exam. So here again, I recommend that you complete all your quizzes before you're scheduled to take your midterm exam. Also, that you have 3 opportunities to complete the quizzes. Once you have exhausted all 3 of your opportunities, you will no longer have access to the quizzes. That's why I'm recommending that you print out your quizzes so that you can have hard copy to study that will help you prepare for your exam. As we look at Unit 5, after you take your midterm exam, your quizzes for the final exam will open up to you. But it will not open up to you until you have completed your midterm exam. So in Unit 5, you're going to actually complete chapters 10, 11, and 12. And then you're going to do the quiz chapters for 10, 11, and 12. Again, you have 3 opportunities to actually complete the quiz. So just be mindful of that. You also have a discussion board post. Now, we're going to take a look at where these quizzes are and when you're scheduled to take it when we get into Blackboard recording. So let's look at Unit 6. In Unit 6, you're going to complete chapters 13, 14, and 15. And you also have quizzes for chapter 13 through 15. Just note that your quiz will open up immediately after your final exam has been completed, so you'll have access to your quizzes. And again, you have 3 opportunities to complete each one. I think it's 90 minutes long for each quiz that you take. After that time is exhausted, you will no longer have access for it. So I recommend that you complete the quizzes as soon as possible, that you read the chapters to help you prepare for the quizzes, that you also print out copies of the quizzes so you can go back later on and study for your final exam. So let's take a look at Unit 7. In Unit 7, you have chapters 16 and 17. And then you have your final paper, which is due in Unit 7. And we'll look at where that should be posted at when we look at Blackboard. You see you have your quiz also for chapters 16 and 17. You also have a discussion board post in which your initial post is on Thursday. And you need to respond to 2 of your peers no later than Sunday at 11:59. You fail to complete your discussions within those time frames, you will no longer have access to it and you will not be given credit for it. So just be mindful that you need to complete your assignment in a timely manner. I recommend that you print out this course schedule, put it in a binder, a notebook, so that you can follow it. Each week you will be doing a unit. And everything will be listed in that unit, and we'll talk about all of that later on. So as we look at Unit 8, okay, so you can see when your final exams start under Unit 8 and when it ends. So you will no longer have access to your quizzes one day before your final exam due date starts. So as you look at Unit 8, it'll tell you when your final exam start. So one day at 11:59 that night, you will no longer have access to your quiz. You may no longer have access to your quiz after you complete your 3 attempts. Again, I recommend that you print out each one of your quizzes so later on you can look at your response, your answers, and basically study for your exam. Again, your quizzes for the chapters will not be a part of your course grade. It is only there to prepare you for the midterm and final exam. I repeat, your quizzes are only there to prepare you for your midterm and final exam, and it will not be counted towards your course grades. So here again, we have completed Unit 1 through Unit 8, and it's telling you where everything is at. I recommend that you print this page out to help you keep track on when things are due. I also have the dates when it starts and when it ends for each unit. And as we go through Blackboard, I will be talking a little bit about where you can find things within the Blackboard in that next recording. Again, you have 3 opportunities to complete each one of the chapter quiz. The quizzes are 90 minutes long. I recommend that you print out each chapter so you can have a study guide for your final and midterm exam. The chapter quizzes 1 through 9 will only give you access up until one day at 11:59 before your midterm exam has actually started. So if your exam started on the 1st, then you would only have until the 30th to do that. So use this to help you understand when you have access to your quizzes. You will no longer have access to the quizzes once your midterm and final open up. The quizzes for your final exam will be open up the day after your midterm exam ends. So just be mindful of that. The reason I'm not talking about dates specifically is because this is a recording that I will be utilizing each time I teach this particular course. So it's important that you look at the course schedules to see when things are due. Your final paper is due in Unit 7, so just be mindful of that. Just remember that your discussion post for each one of the units is scheduled where you have to respond your initial response by Thursday and respond to 2 pairs no later than Sunday at 11:59. So just be mindful that each one of the discussions will be there for you to complete it. Do not email me a discussion because you missed assignments. Do not email me your paper because you missed the suspense date. I will not grade it. All work needs to be done within Blackboard in the course room. So therefore, if you're late posting a discussion, do not email me. I will not grade it. The reason I told you that is because you did not submit your assignment in a timely manner. Now, there are always reasons why students submit late work. So instead of emailing me, I recommend that you call me and have a discussion with me as to why you did not complete a particular assignment in a timely manner. And then I will evaluate it from there. Now, if you just missed the assignment, I'd rather you just tell me you missed the assignment rather than give me a lie about an issue you're experiencing or whatever. I'm not saying that you will actually lie to me, but through my times of teaching this course, students have given me multiple reasons why they didn't complete an assignment. I posted it, but it didn't go through. Well, if you posted assignment on Thursday, you will know by time Sunday when you respond to your peers whether your assignment went through. So here again, this is something that we can discuss if there are circumstances that were beyond your control where I can evaluate and actually give you credit for the paper. If you email me this assignment, I will not grade it. So I repeat, make sure that you submit all assignments in a timely manner. Do not email me your paper because you couldn't get access to where it needs to go, because you won't have access after the assignment due date because the assignment will no longer be available to you. Now, there are times when Blackboard failed to do things, and I will discuss that with you if that's a problem, where you can snapshot your submission and it'll have the date that you submitted, the time that you submitted, and send it to me in an email, and I can evaluate it and open it back up for you to submit your work. But it would only be open back up for the time frame that we discussed, because I don't want someone else to come in and submit a late response. So here again, it's not fair to the students who submitted their assignments in a timely manner to allow students who fail to do so to receive credits. So this is going to end this particular recording for the course schedule. So you have the recording for your syllabi. Now you have the recording for your course schedule. My next recording that's going to be sent to you will be centered around Blackboard and where things are in Blackboard, and talk a little bit about what I have on the Getting Started pages to help you with this particular course. Again, if you should have any questions about the course schedule, write them down, give me a call, email me your questions, and I will respond to you. Just be mindful, if you email me a response, I have 48 hours to respond back to you with a response. But if you call me, I will return your call immediately because of the nature of the event. So if you didn't reach me when you called, leave me your name, leave me your number, leave me a message, and I will call you back. So this is going to end the course schedule, and the next recording will be centered around Blackboard.